What's up, folks? It's Dan here from BeingAGameCharacter.com, and we are back again with Q&A Tuesday. I am 1 month out from 1 week out from being done at my job that I gave notice at about a week ago, which I told you about. I'm aware it's also Wednesday, not technically Tuesday. Sorry, stuff's a little crazy. I have my NASM certification test coming up this Saturday. I've got my last 2 weeks at my job. I've got a whole lot of stuff going on right now, so unfortunately, we're a little loosey-goosey on schedule for both here on the YouTube channel and over on the blog. But that should all settle down because, like I said, I am coming up on my last week at work, and it feels awesome. So let's jump right into the questions. Let's see. First off, we've got Storyman09, and last week's question of the week, by the way, was if you if you die by choking on your own spit. No, if you could add anything to a gym, add any sort of ancillary activity, something funky, whatever, what would it be? Storyman starts off by saying, it's strange how many evil sorceress characters have a means to cheat death now that I think about the matchup I asked about last week. Yeah, isn't that weird? Hello, Dan. In answer of your question, I think that a room or space with a lot of configurable and movable obstacles or areas for parkour/climbing would be cool. That's going in my gym. We're doing parkour and free running and Ninja Warrior stuff on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays. That way you can change things up, try practicing with a specific setup or against a specific obstacle, and overall just play. Play is one of those things, I think you wrote about it at one point, that makes the difference between just hundreds of hours of rote practice and actually achieving mastery. Yes, it did. It is underrated. I also like the idea of a space or room for sparring, maybe even an open hour or two here and there when you can walk in, sign a liability waiver, and can do some sparring against different types of fighters. That would be awesome too. If there was the interest for that, that's an idea that seems really cool to me. Maybe you could even combine the two spaces, throw in different obstacles and environments on top of everything. Would be very cool. I doubt insurance would ever touch that. My question this week is, what do you know and or think about the concept/practice of metacognition? And if you don't know anything about metacognition, my backup question is, what is one workout, physical exercise, or active fitness that you want to be able to do but can't? Metacognition, I could probably make a guess based off of just the general vernacular that make up the word there, but I don't know exactly what you're speaking about on metacognition, so I don't want to talk about it without knowing what the heck I'm talking about. So, tell you what, I'll look into it, and next week, if you wanted to remind me, I'll answer that question next week. But as of right now, I have no idea specifically what metacognition is. So, I'll look into it though. So I'll move on to the second question. What's one workout, physical exercise, or active fitness you want to be able to do but cannot? What do I want to do that I can't do? I'm going to go with the salmon ladder. I'm sure I can do it if I have enough practice, but if you guys saw my salmon ladder video, my salmon ladder is actually like a death trap. And on top of that, it did not fare well over the winter, so I have to build a new salmon ladder to practice on. I'm going to make a much better one. But that would be it, salmon ladder. And we'll get there very, very soon. It's one of the first things I'm probably going to do after I quit my job, actually, is get a salmon ladder set up. So, good question. That's my answer. Thanks. Have a good week, Dan. You have a good week as well, Storyman. Thanks for stopping by. Next up is John Smith, who says, I would like to see a weight sled or rock climbing wall. Ooh, that'd be cool. Rock walls are awesome. They really require kind of a specialized facility to make them worth it. Like, if you have just one wall, I mean, you can switch it up and change it if you want. But, hang on, my computer's yelling at me. No, I don't want to restart right now. You can have a rock wall in any facility, obviously, as long as you have the insurance for it. But, a good rock gym has a whole lot of different offerings and a lot of different funky stuff to try. So you gotta have to have like a dedicated space for it, unfortunately. So while I like that idea, we need a very large facility that could house the rock wall in addition to the other stuff. Like my gym, ideally, where I want it to eventually be, is I want to have like a parkour Ninja Warrior area / room, a martial arts area / room, and then a strength and cardio training area / room. Ideally 3 separate rooms so you can do all 3 at once in the facility. But a rock wall, in addition to that, rock wall would require an additional room and a very large room too, very tall ceiling, big space. Whereas a martial arts room does not have to be huge. And on top of that, it's multifunctional. Like you could do martial arts, you could do yoga, you could do group fitness classes, you could do dance, you could do a whole bunch of different stuff with that room. The parkour room could do very similar things if a lot of the obstacles are movable, as Storyman suggested. The weightlifting and cardio room, obviously, only one purpose is weightlifting and cardio, but you can fit a lot of people in there doing it at one time, and you don't have to have super high ceilings, whatever. Whereas a rock gym is mainly just rock climbing. Like, that's it. So I love rock climbing. I do think it kind of requires its own facility, but I can also be wrong. So I like it. Weight sled, yeah, definitely a weight sled. That'd be awesome. The location that I'm looking at right now, we're not going to have room for a weight sled unless we do it in the back, but there's grass back there. Probably not a possibility, but yeah, future location, definitely something I want to have. If cloning was ever perfected, how it was in Star Wars, would it be a bad idea to make clones for overly dangerous jobs, such as testing a new rocket or taking care of a nuclear power plant? I would say, yeah, absolutely. From a moral and ethical perspective, I mean, a clone is a human being, right? Like, if we're saying they're a human being, even if they are preconditioned, which I also have issues with, they're still human beings. I mean, you're not making non-humans. You might as well make robots then, right? So, human being, just because it's a clone doesn't mean they should have any less rights than a normal, human being that was born from just standard biological processes. Like, a person is a person, no matter how small. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. So that would be my thing. Yeah, definitely. It would not. It would be a bad idea. It would be morally and ethically wrong, and I'd be 100% against it. Good question. Moving on, we've got BenRex777 who says, "Hello, Dan. I like the long answer and congrats on quitting the job. Thank you very much." About street workout. Well, I need to correct myself a little. That's right. What I asked what a street workout was. It would be blasphemy to call it street workout. What we did, there were some outdoor fitness devices, and we did some push-ups, pull-ups, and what they are called again. The most difficult one was perhaps the muscle up he showed me, which I couldn't do. Yo, muscle ups are hard. They're not easy exercises. They require not only a lot of strength, but also proper technique. If you want to know what real street workout is, just search on YouTube. You'll find some stuff that scratches the limits of the human body. It's all about strength, body tension, and body control. Oh, okay. So it's like Bar Kings. Is that what? Oh, geez. I'm gonna Bar Stars, Bar Kings. What the hell? Hang on. Yeah, Bar Stars. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Bar Kings. I don't know why I thought that. Bar Stars, like guys who work on like playground equipment and stuff like that. They're very awesome. Okay, so I assume that's what you're talking about with street workout. Look them up. Let me know if I'm right. What sort of equipment? Okay, if you consider the motto, be a game character, I think if magic isn't an option, survivalism is the thing most game characters need. Besides Mirror's Edge and Portal, not a lot of games come to mind which don't use some survival stuff. Yeah, survivalism would be awesome. And, I mean, like, I could definitely have a survivalist come in and do classes, like, at the super uber gym that I haven't named yet. Yeah, and I've thought about that as well, at the idea of having a survivalist come in and possibly do like field trips, like to the woods and stuff like that. Would be cool. Definitely very, very cool. My personal favorite, on the other hand, would be a program which you learn how to use everything from using a sword, a bow, a gun, a stick, an axe, a shield, and every weapon you can. Perhaps no tanks. Man, we gotta have the tanks. Tanks are awesome. Yeah, also something I want to incorporate. The difficulty with archery and firearms is, again, the dedicated space. Like rock climbing, like you can have a firing range or shooting range, but like it has to be like that's the only thing you can do there. Same with archery, although archery you can kind of do in a big room that's specially purposed for it that could be used for other things. But yeah, for the most part, they're generally mono-purpose facilities. But working out some sort of partnership with like another location that already does that sort of thing, where like you do discounted rates back and forth, would be very, very cool. As far as melee weapons and stuff like that, I mean, obviously, Ishinu Karate, we have Bo and Sai and Tonfa, so we teach those as it is once you hit black belt. But I am going to look into possibly having other martial artists come in, European martial arts, to learn like broadsword and stuff like that. Filipino for Kali and Eskrima stick fighting, stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. Now the question for you: how long did it take you to travel to work and back, and how long will it take you when you settle in with your new job? Well, traveling to work and back for my current job is actually very short. It's like 5 minutes from my house. So very short journey, but they're long shifts. I work 12-hour shifts. So I mean that was the nice thing about it was it's a very short drive. It's very local, and that was definitely a benefit. I would not have worked a job with 12-hour shifts if it was like a 45-minute commute. No, because that'd be like 14 hours out of my day. No, thank you. How long it take you to settle in with my new job? Well, for the next couple of months, my new job is just going to be this. Once the gym opens, the location for the gym that we're looking at that we're most likely going to get is right next door to where my dojo is, which is about 15 minutes from my house, a little bit less. So a little further than my current job, but I also will be basically living there, so it doesn't really matter. So that will be the thing. But that's, I mean, I don't want to think of it like a new job, like it's my new lifestyle, if you will. So, yeah. Have a nice week, Benny. You have a nice week as well. Thank you for stopping by, Benny. It is always a pleasure to have you here. So that is it for today's Q&A Wednesday. Next week, big announcement for the channel here and the future of things and whatnot. I'm teasing that right now. It's coming down the pike. In regards to leaving my job and stuff like that. So that'll be coming out. And after that, stuff's going to shift. But be here next week. We're going to have a lot of exciting stuff going on. I know I usually don't have to tell you guys to be here next week, but I'm fired up. It's going to be really cool stuff. Really excited for the future and what is coming. So nothing more on that for now. Your question for next week. Let's see. I didn't think about one this week, so I have to think of one off the top of my head. All right. Here's one. Simple, straightforward. I love hats. Hang on. We got this. Oh, doesn't really work with the headphones. We'll make it happen. There we go. I love hats. So, I've got a whole bunch of hats. Like, probably like 10 or 15 hats. Not a huge number of hats for somebody who collects hats, which I would not necessarily call myself a hat collector, but there you have it. So, I love hats. What is your favorite kind of hat? Tell me what hats you like, and if you don't like hats, tell me why you don't like hats, and I'm going to assume you're some sort of dirty hat-hating heathen. So tell me what kind of hats you like. What's your favorite kind of hat? Let me know. Tell me down in the comments below. I will see you next week. Big announcements. Be there. Exciting stuff. I can't wait until you see it. All right. I'll see you next time. As always, remember to live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.